One of the scariest things to happen in the world is to be cast away and be stuck on some island. But after watching this video, you'll definitely think otherwise. Especially with the ongoing pandemic around the world, it'd be nice to go to a secluded place just to relax, enjoy, and take a breather. While us average folks love to settle in doing those in the comfort of our own rooms and houses, these celebrities have their own islands. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Luxury by Design. Today, we'll be looking at 5 of the most expensive and luxurious private islands owned by stars. But before we get into the video, give us a thumbs up as it helps us out a lot. Subscribe with the notification bell for future luxurious videos. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Number 5. Necker Island, Richard Branson. It shouldn't come as any surprise that billionaire entrepreneur and owner of the Virgin Group, Richard Branson, has an island of his own. But the good thing about Necker Island is that it's an open resort to whoever can afford to book it year-round. The prices are insane though, at upwards of $100,000 per day to rent out the whole island for you and about 30 of your closest friends. You can decide if the price is worth it after you hear about its history and what it has to offer. Necker Islands is a part of a group of islands called the British Virgin Islands, with it being in the Far East section of the islands. It's next to Prickly Pear Island and Mosquito Island, which Branson also owns. Put up for sale in 1978, Branson decided to survey the place as a prospective buyer. After deciding that he wanted to use the place to raise up-and-coming rock stars for his label, he put a bid on the island for just $100,000 because of his limited spending potential at the start of his career. Naturally, he was turned away immediately, but a year later, with the owner needing some short-term capital, he settled on $120,000 and the condition that he turned the island into a commercial resort within 4 years or it went back to the state. After 3 years at over $10 million, he finally had a resort. The amenities included 2 beaches, 2 private pools, tennis courts, water sports equipment, and a personal staff of over 100 people to cater to the needs of whoever was lucky enough to rent out the island at the time. The cherry on top? A gorgeous 10-bedroom Balinese-style villa on top of a hill complete with Asian antiques, rugs, fabrics, and bamboo furniture, as well as all 10 rooms having open walls for a scenic 306-degree view of this beauty that is Necker Island. Number 4. Bonds Cay, Shakira. Much like how Branson wanted Necker Island to be a place to nurture would-be artists for his label, Shakira also went and got an island with Pink Floyd's co-founder, Roger Waters, for $16 million. They made the purchase back in 2011 for Bonds Cay, a 550-acre island within the Berry Islands group. She envisioned the island as a high-end artistic getaway for the extremely wealthy, with plans for luxury homes and private beaches already underway before the purchase was finalized. But they didn't buy an empty lot. The island was pristine in the nature it held within, complete with 5 beaches, 3 bays, multiple waterfalls, and beautiful lagoons dotted through the whole island. They wanted to use the scenery to inspire artists and celebrities alike, so they also had talks of placing studios, art galleries, and even a space to rent out for sabbaticals. It would have been the perfect getaway for anyone looking for some time away from the world, and especially for artists looking for fresh inspiration to improve their craft. But that's just the thing it would have been. Around the same time, she had purchased the island for all these plans. Her 10-year relationship with Antonio de la Rua had just ended, and the ex-boyfriend was suing her for $100 million. The lawsuit was ultimately dismissed, but the legal battle had left the star less than willing to continue with her aforementioned plans. In the end, they decided to put up Bonds Cay for sale to the highest bidder and stop any construction projects they had there. Number 3. Blackador Cay, Leonardo DiCaprio. Continuing with the list of cays and Blackador Cays in Blackador Cay, located in the Caribbean Sea and isn't too far away from the extremely beautiful Belize Barrier Reef. Purchased by actor Leonardo DiCaprio in 2015, with Cayo Espanto owner Jeff Graham for $1.5 million. The superstar environmentalist plans to make a resort on the island while preserving and even nurturing its natural resources and beauty, calling it a restorative experience for both the island and would-be resort goers. The final product would feature off-the-grid living homes that simply mean they don't run on conventional power sources like gas or electricity, research stations for environmental scientists, and finally, 36 resort bungalows and estate villas. all of which are built with completely renewable resources and with machinery that runs on natural energy. And the actor himself wasn't afraid to get the word out on his environmental endeavors, often talking about it on interviews and talk shows to get people's attention on both his resort and the ever-increasing issue of climate change and pollution. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing, as the lead of Titanic can attest to. Set to open 2 years ago, the island's opening had been delayed twice, now with the first in 2018 and the second just recently in 2020, due to a combination of construction delays and ongoing environmental studies and permits issued by the government of Belize. Further details on the new opening date have yet to be announced. Number 2. Rooster Cay, Eddie Murphy. Not a lot can be said for this specific island, since any plans to turn it into a public resort have not been put into action. Located in the Bahamas, its tourism value is practically unmatched as a commercial getaway, and that's exactly what puts it on this list. And the fact that legendary entertainer Eddie Murphy owns this island, and he bought it for $15 million. The island itself is about 15 acres and is largely underdeveloped, leaving most of the wildlife intact. And Eddie seems like he wants to keep it this way, as he'd much rather use it as a vacation spot for him and his family. Regardless, the island is home to natural beauties as far as the eye can see, like white sand beaches and enough elevation to enjoy the full island view. And that's just about it. Nothing much else can be said about the island, but there have been talks about them wanting to convert it into a tourist spot and even a UFC fight location, since the comedian himself is represented by Endeavor, which owns the UFC. Number 1. Mungo Island, Mel Gibson. Pronounced Mungo Island, this deserves the top spot on the list for being the largest freehold island in the Southwest Pacific, with 5,400 acres of land packed to the brim, with equally breathtaking scenery and ecology. It's currently owned by actor Mel Gibson after a sizable bid of $15 million, and we'd say that's a fair price for the amount of land he was getting, unlike the other, smaller islands priced almost the same on this list. You'd think from that description that the island was a tourist hotspot plagued with rich vacation goers all year round, but it's actually very private. Gibson uses the island as a private getaway sometimes, but for the most part, all its inhabitants are just caretakers meant to maintain the quality of the land and waters. Of course, there were locals on such a massive island, and yes, they were displaced when Gibson bought this island, to which they strongly protested against, but ultimately couldn't prevent. It's so private, in fact, that most of the details we have on the island come from the website they put up to promote the place, which weren't very detailed either, and satellite imagery. So what do you think of the 5 most expensive islands owned by celebrities? Is there an island that we missed that should be on this list? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. And if you're new to Luxury by Design, give us a thumbs up, as it helps us out a lot. Subscribe with the notification bell for future luxurious videos. Until next time.